Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We're back.
We back. How's everyone doing today? I'm Chuchina Greer.
Amina Hines.
Today we're going to cover a little bit about mental health in teens. I'm covering from 4 to 18 because mental health in teens, especially not even teens, it starts at the adolescent age. Believe me, mental health starts at a very, very young age. We have pinpointed back to the age of 4. For youth between ages of 4, mental health episode can be a scary situation. And the reason it's scary because remember they are just developing. Okay, a 4-year-old that's having mental health episodes do not understand what's going on because they don't even understand their own selves. They are just learning who they are. It leads confusion to both parents and child. Facing mental health concerns can feel extremely lonely because when a parent have a child that suffers with mental health, they feel like, oh my God, what have I went wrong as a parent? What have happened to cause the mental health problem? We start to have all kinds of questions and we start to blame ourselves. But you gotta remember, mental health starts in all areas of ages. There's nowhere to go. You feel embarrassed. The distance between care and getting better is far apart. Okay? It's like I said, it's very, very difficult for young adults and kids to suffer with mental health. So please, parents, pay attention to your kids. If you notice that your children are having abnormal behaviors, they're not acting like they're supposed to act, make sure you check on them to see what's going on. Make sure that they're not being mentally abused, physically abused while they're not in your presence. Make sure that you know where you're taking your kids to, where you're dropping your children to. Make sure you know that they are in a safe environment each time you walk away from your children, because all types of issues in life that happens to children, that's what causes them to have mental health and all different kind of anxiety, PTSD. So please pay attention to your kids, okay? Because mental health do starts from the age of 4 on up. Just pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to pass it to Amena.
So, today I'm going to just focus briefly on PTSD in teens, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Many of the things that are evident in PTSD in adults is similar to teens. However, there are a few differences. Studies show that 5% of people between the ages of 13 to 18 will develop post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. So, for teens, PTSD is pretty much the same. It's defined as you experience or witness, or you hear of someone that is near and dear to you that experiences a traumatic event. So, examples of trauma, one is physical, sexual, or verbal abuse. A second one is a serious injury or illness, usually life-threatening. The third one can be a car accident. They could either witness it or they could be involved in it. The fourth one are violent crimes, such as a kidnapping, a school shooting, a murder, an assault. Believe it or not, major surgery can also cause trauma. Another one is community violence. So I mentioned previously school shootings, but also if, say, a friend or loved one committed suicide in front of them, that can also be considered a very traumatic event. And finally, natural disasters. So remember, your child or teen does not have to actually experience this traumatic event themselves. So be very aware of their surroundings and events in their lives. And as Shatina mentioned, if you notice different behavior, changes in behavior, then that's a good sign that something is up and you need to pay attention. So I just want to quickly touch on the symptoms of PTSD in teens. So they will tend to relive the traumatic event. And evidence of this are nightmares. So actually 71 to 96% of people, including teens, that have nightmares have the same recurrent nightmare. They may experience flashbacks, which it's like a waking nightmare. So they're actually awake, and it's like they're reliving the event in such detail. And if they feel like an uncontrollable sense of overwhelming emotions, and it often leads to disassociation. So that's a good sign that your teen or child is dealing with that. And sometimes these flashbacks may come on without any evident triggers. So they seem to come out of nowhere. One other example of reliving a traumatic event includes intrusive memories. So even though they know that they're in reality, whereas in flashbacks and nightmares, there's a fine line there. So they actually know that they're not experiencing the event, but the memories and thoughts are so severe and lucid, very clear, that it interrupts their life. I just want to touch on one more symptom, and hopefully you guys will come back again and we'll discuss more symptoms and also things that parents can do to get help for their child and also help them manage trauma. Avoidance. So your teen or child will seek to avoid any external stimuli reminding them of the event. So when I say stimuli, that's something outside of themselves. Stimuli could be anything from a sound, like for instance, let's say they witness a car crash, and when they hear anything similar to breaking glass or crushing metal, that would trigger them. So they will tend to try to avoid these stimuli, and this can include not just a sound, but people and places as well. So anything that reminds them of the event, and usually as a form of avoidance, they will attempt to keep very busy. So to recap, 2 of the 6 symptoms is reliving the event, the traumatic event, and avoiding anything that reminds them of the event. So stay tuned. Come back and join us next week. Bye-bye.
Come back. Bye-bye now.